Hello and welcome to the 1875 Talk Show. This is my new channel that I have decided to create because I want to give my opinions on the news about Birmingham City, any news that comes about, whether it be transfer news, ownership news, or other news, results, reviews when we eventually start kicking off, and anything else connected to the club. I'm going to start off with some recent news to cover, just to give myself base to start. As everyone is more than well aware by now, it has been 4 days since Lee Bowyer has been let go of his position as head coach with Birmingham City after almost 16 months in charge. He did well when he first came in, when he saved us from an almost certain drop. No one can argue that. I think the problem started the season after when he decided in his infinite wisdom to change the formation and put players in positions where they just weren't naturally there to play. Again, agreed. We had a lot of injuries, and I do think there was other things, other background things that were happening that we aren't privy to. Let's face it, we're just the fans. We're never going to know the truth. I am waiting the day where Bowyer finally does break his silence and start talking about things that happened. This is obviously Bowyer's numbers: 56 games in charge, 28.8% win rate, 26 losses, 17 wins, and 16 draws. I think the defining moment for me for Bowyer's tenure at Blues was that sight of him at half time in the Blackpool game. He looked like a broken man. He will forever be a club legend for what he helped us do. I remember that semi final against West Ham at home. Amazing game. Lost my voice for 3 days. Brilliant game, and I thank him for what he did then. Unfortunately, I think the owners sold him at River, to be truthfully honest. Moving on to our new appointment, John Eustace. I'm going to start this by saying I do not give two craps if he's a Villa fan or not. I do not care who he supports personally. His personal opinions are not in question right now. What's in question is his experience as a manager, I think. But on the other hand of that, on the other hand of that, I think the other problem we're going to have is what manager with loads of experience is going to want to come to Birmingham City. I'm sorry, and I hate to say this, and I'm a lifelong Birmingham City fan. My father's a lifelong Birmingham City fan, and my son is a Birmingham City fan. He's going to be. He's got no choice in it. I'm sorry, but our club is not what it was, and I think no one can argue that. He does say in an interview that he's very proud to be here. Obviously, he's a Birmingham City lad. He knows the potential of the club and how important it is to the fans. We have underachieved in the past few seasons at a club of this size. I have never seen an understatement written so clearly as it is right there. With the support that this club has, we need to be aiming higher. I cannot wait to get going, meet the staff, and get my ideas across to the players out on the pitch as soon as we can. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a few games where we win. And if we do not get depth in our squad, because let's face it, our squad's about as deep as tracing paper right now. If we do not get depth, if we do not have the ability to outsmart our opponents, we are going to get figured out again quite quickly. And we are in for a torrid season. Moving on to slightly better news, Dion Sanderson is back. He's back at the Blues, and I'm really happy with this. He made 16 appearances and helped us keep 6 clean sheets. He started with a first team debut in the EFL Cup second round against Fulham. That was a good game, if you consider it a good game. He had a good game. And unfortunately, on the 4th of January 2022, he was recalled back to Wolves due to their ongoing injuries in their defence area, which Birmingham City can sympathise. Moving on to news that's garnered, I think, mixed reactions on social media is letting Ivan Sunjic go to Hertha Berlin on loan. And when I say mixed reactions, is I'm seeing a lot of fans, that are saying, great, but we should have sold him. I'm seeing an awful lot of fans saying, great, he's gone. And I am seeing some fans say, it is a shame. And I think I'm sitting in all three camps. I'll be honest. And I don't like being a fence sitter. And I especially don't like being a fence sitter when it's 3 different fences. But if you look at this logically, the loan move, depending on what the wage split's like, he was on a massive sum. There's a lot of players on massive sub. Bella, Pedersen, they're both gone now. But he was on a large sub. And to be truthfully honest, we need to lower the wage bill down, because if we don't, we're going to get spanked eventually, and it's going to come back to haunt us. Ivan Sudjis was always one of those players that you could guarantee 90 minutes worth of stamina, no matter what. No matter what, he used to run his legs off, and you can always guarantee he would be there ready to tackle. The problem came when he had the ball. He started bright, but he never lived up to the price tag we paid for him. And again, as I said, his passing was just so inconsistent. 1 minute he'd pull a wonder pass out of his arse, the next minute he couldn't pass 2 inches in front of his own feet. And a lot of times he was caught on the ball, daydreaming. And last season we did concede a few goals that I can remember because he stayed on the ball too long. Whether that be a decision that he made in the moment, or whether that be something that Bowyer has told him to do to try and play the ball in, I do not know. I was not there. All I can tell you is my opinion on what I saw. And in my opinion, I have mixed feelings about this, but I am glad he's gone. It is a wage bill that we really, really do need to get rid of. Now we're moving on to some rumours, and I'm not even going to attempt to say that because I will insult someone, but apparently Blues have made an approach to sign Angers left back Doumbia. According to reports in France, the 25-year-old has been made first choice for the League One side for the last 2 seasons, operated wing back last term. From what I can see, he's a good player. From what I've read, he's a good player. Obviously, without Christian Pedersen, who reached the end of his contract and has gone somewhere else now, we do need a left back. Alfie May, apparently, according to the 72, claimed Pedersen, Blues and Preston are keen on the 20-year-old striker. From what I can see, he's a good player. He's very much in the same, from what I've looked at, he's very much of the same vein as Scott Hogan, so that'd be interesting. I think this is just a rumour. And again, we're in the transfer, so I wouldn't be surprised. If this is Birmingham Mail, we're going to be linked to everyone on the planet. Terrell Thomas, apparently Blues and Derby are leading the way to sign former Charlton, Wimbledon and Crewe centre-back Terrell Thomas. 26-year-old most recently with Reading have had his Crewe contract terminated by mutual consent. He has since been released and is now a free agent. I think our transfers, if you want for a better word, are going to be loans and free agents. And I think that will happen until a new ownership takes over and we get some funding in, get the bloody stadium sorted out because we need the atmosphere back, and get the fan. We need that place rocking, and I think that was one of the main contributors to such a poor season last season. Is St Andrews has always been an absolute fortress when that place is packed, and having half the stadium, the away fans can outsing us. And I witnessed a lot of games last season where the away fans did outsing us, and it was sad to see. Next player is Naby Sarr. I am not even going to bother reading that next one. I've just said it. Blues, Reading, and are claim to be interested in the free agent. Again, a free agent. I mean, the question you've got to ask yourself is why they're a free agent. If they're that good, why are they a free agent? Or if they are good, why are they a free agent? But apparently he's played for Lyon and Sporting Lisbon, which are 2 decent sides. Spent 5 years at Charlton, working under the former Blues manager of Lee Bowyer at the Valley. If someone else can say this one, please, because I have no way of saying it. According to reports, the Winger's Native Poland website claims Blues are keen on a loan move to view to purchase 2023. Reports also indicate the 24-year-old has offers from outside of UK, having fallen down the pecking order at Carrow Road. Again, I think this is going to be. Apparently, the deal's going to be. He had a deal worth $3 million. He's made 26 championship appearances in his first season. As Daniel Farke led Norwich back to the Premier League, but only 11 in the top flight last term. Again, he's got championship experience, so that's a plus. Moving on to the next one. This rumour has been going around for a while now. Birmingham City are a move for Newcastle duo by training with the under-23s. Birmingham City are interested in Newcastle's Dwight Gale and Kieran Clark, as John Eustace looks to strengthen his squad. Gale and Clark have started to train with the Magpies under 23s as they edge towards the exit door at St James's Park this summer. Again, I think Eddie Howe's got a lot of senior players, so I think he's definitely looking at getting rid of some people. This is from the Daily File, so I wouldn't hold your breath. Everyone remember Kieran Clark from Aston Villa days. I genuinely think this is going to be interesting. I would like to give a prediction, but I'm going to wait closer to the start of the season before I think about giving a prediction of where Blues are going to end up. I wouldn't want to put money on a horse right now. As it stands right now, Birmingham City need players through the door. Simple as that. I think no one can argue that. I have massive concerns over what's to come this season. I think this season is going to be one of those seasons where it's going to be the fan support that gets these lot through. I'll be honest. And if we manage to survive and we get higher than we did in the last 3-4 seasons, I will be as happy as a pig in shit. And now I suppose we should really go to the elephant in the room. Birmingham City are set to speak to other takeover groups as Lauren Bassini exclusivity ends. I have opinions on Loris Bassini. As I have been known to call him, bullshit Baz. I think that TalkSport interview was the epitome of a train crash. And I feel that no matter what happened, the second he opened his trap, that was it. His hopes and dreams of owning Birmingham City were over. And I know what people are going to say. There are people out there going, "Oh, you want BSH to stay?" No, I don't. I want BSH gone. I want BSH gone as soon as possible. But having someone like Lawrence Bassini take over is a bit like jumping out of the frying pan and dunking your bollocks in a piranha tank. This is just... The guy's been bankrupt, twice? He went on live radio on TalkSport and said David Sullivan was giving him the money. Less than an hour later, David Sullivan's team turned around and said, "No, we're not. No, we're not." Now, whether that be true or not, again, I feel as if this takeover has taken on a public's life of its own. This takeover needs to go back inside, back indoors, behind closed doors, and just be done with. I do not want to know who our owner is until the poor sap is standing in Cop Corner holding a scarf. That's the only time I want to know who it is, whether it be Maxi Lopez and the Paul Richardson deal, whether it is Lawrence Bassini, or whether it be the other fine group of people that are looking to buy our club. I recommend anyone who wants more information on this really goes and look at almagir.net. Dan Ivory, guy's a legend in my opinion, and he has done more for he's done more for the fans to give the fans the information about the takeover of Birmingham City than pretty much anyone else. I mean, Neil Moxley, again, he has great information, but I think Neil Moxley's been sold down the river, to be truthfully honest. I don't know if someone's lied to him or what, but unfortunately that's the way it is. There was a rumour that came out that I saw on social media that apparently we are going to have an announcement at some point this week. It's now Wednesday, and nothing. So, again, I'm not holding my breath. Paul Richardson, who was heading up the group at the takeover, went out to open talks with the club regarding a possible takeover. Bassini failed to meet several deadlines last month because Bassini skids. That's the only reason. At the end of the day, no matter who takes over, the EFL will be very stringent on them. They will have to go through the proper fair owners test. And Bassini was never going to pass that. Even if you take away the fact he was banned for 3 years, if you take away the fact that he had 2 bankruptcies, he was skids. I mean, it was 36.5 million says there. 36.5 million to take over the club. You need at least double that. You need at least double that just to have the first season. Bassini hasn't got a pot to piss in. Again, there were other claims made about how Mark Warburton were going to come in. And then a few days later, Mark Warburton joins Dave Moyes' coaching staff. Bullshit Baz. Apparently, the current owners remain willing to sell the club. I think it's more to do with the fact that the club's become a little bit of a stone around their neck. We've also got shadow owners that are in the background, the elusive Mr. King, or Wang Yao Wei, as we now know him, which has proven he is the owner of our club. And the longer this drags out, the less they're going to put in. Because let's face it, they're selling, they're not going to want to have the stadium fixed. So I do not see the stadium even progressing anywhere remotely what looks like to be progressing before the start of the season. So we're going to have another season with a half-closed stadium, with half the fans in that we need to get that place rocking, and more importantly, half the money. because it affects the balance of the club at the end of the day. It's got to a point now where I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of hearing about the ownership of Birmingham City. I don't want to know the owners. I'm like a lot of fans out there. I want to go to the game with my mates, eat a pie and watch the footy and talk about it after. And hopefully see a goal for us, not against us. I've seen enough of them against us, thanks. And I think the whole situation's messy. And I just think this is a poor situation for Birmingham to be in, and the longer it drags out, the worse it's going to be. Dan Ivory said before, I think just after the end of the last season, when all this was announced, everyone turned around and said, "Oh, it's going to be done in a few weeks. It's going to be done. It's going to be done." And Dan Ivory stood, but no, it's not. Takeover is a very, very complicated business. This isn't like selling a Ford Escort on eBay. I mean, they can't put an eBay posting up. Birmingham City sold as seen. Spares and repairs. Need some work doing. Restoration project. They can't do that. We're going to get £3.50 for the club. And the fact is, we're so heavily linked with the Hong Kong Stock Exchange now. They are trying to find something to put on the listing so they don't lose the listing, because they don't give a shit about our club. It's just a listing. As the channel says at the start, our club, our history. And I think the only way we're going to force their hand to make them do a deal quick is more protests. Be more vocal. But I do also believe in media attention. And that's one thing that I will say that's really pissing me off. The fact that Derby have had media attention, yet we're in a situation where we're being run by someone who's wanted for corruption and money laundering in several countries, including the United States, I believe. And because it's Birmingham City, it's fuck them. And I apologise for swearing. I don't know if there's any younger people listening to this video, but it frustrates me. It really frustrates me. But that's just my opinions on it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I plan to do a lot more. Again, as I said earlier, I want to do some prediction video in a few weeks' time before the start of the season. And yeah, any other news that comes up, I will be getting on the bandwagon as quickly as I can, so to speak. And I hope you enjoyed the show. This is the 1875 Talk Show. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and if you agree or disagree, drop a comment. I'd love to hear off you. This is a community I want to keep talking to. So yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and thanks for dropping by. Bye.